How's it going, guys? And welcome to another session of the Let's Talk Show by Interlingua. I am your host, Mike, and today we're going to take matters very seriously. We're going to talk about science, very important, and of course, very interesting because it's practically out there and we just don't know it. We sometimes think, oh my God, science. We're going to talk about the elements. We're going to talk about how much does it take to boil the substance? What is this molecule with this molecule much, etc., etc., etc. But just take a look of what you see every single day. You open up a can of soda. Look at the carbonation. That's even science. What happens? How does it take to get the bubbles in the liquid? And why does it taste so good? Of course, it's the amount of sugar. But look at the nutritional elements in the back. Everything. It's science. How does the weather respond? What are we doing to our environment? Why does our food go bad in the refrigerator? And why, if we put it in the freezer, it stays the same? Of course, it gets frozen, but you know what I mean. Everything is related to science. And today, we're going to talk about some heavy topics to help you out practicing your English and also learning some curious facts. But enough about me. We have some guests today, and making their return to the Let's Talk Show, we have Angel, and we also have Erich. How's it going, gentlemen?
Everything's good.
All right.
Really excited to talk about science and to be here once again.
Good to see all of you guys. And, well, let's get down to business right now. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. In what way does science impact your life? Okay.
I think in every single aspect. You just said it, science is everywhere. Since the moment you wake up, right? Some events start happening around you, inside your body, with your brain, right? Some chemical elements start working. So it's practically everywhere. I have two children. So my daughter is almost 9. My son is almost 6. And this is the time when they are asking all these sorts of questions like, Dad, why is the sky blue? And Dad, why do dogs bark? And that forces me, so to speak, to find the answers, right? And to be able to tell them, I don't really know, let me look into it and I'll tell you. Right? So science is everywhere. Just turn around, you'll see it.
And let's move on with Erich. Please, Erich, in what way has science impacted your life?
Well, as Angel said, science is everywhere. We're using computers right now. Without scientific discoveries, they wouldn't have been invented. Example, all the food that we can find, they found how to refrigerate it. We take it for granted, right? It's there.
Pretty much.
That's one. But it's an amazing advance. Without that, our civilization as we know it wouldn't exist. So yeah, it's everywhere. We have made so many discoveries throughout centuries that have helped us live as we live today, especially in the last century or so.
My question is, for you guys, in your perspective, in which ways science can be also related to arts? Okay.
Actually, in every way that you can imagine, right? Your imagination is the limit. Because, for example, we have paint, right? You just make paint just because, or is there a process behind it, right? We have, for example, the primary colors, right? And this means that even the smallest amount of color mixed with another one will give you a different shade, right? Or a different hue. But I'm very artistic, to be honest. But
Okay.
since the moment you take a sheet of paper, right, a pencil, right, science was involved there. What's inside a pencil, for example? Carbon, right? So the science is basically all around us. Right? You just mention the area, and you will find science related to that area somehow. Okay, so I think it's important that we don't overlook science in our lives. It's there. It's helped us explain a lot of things, and we owe science a lot.
What about you, Eric?
Well, I'm a musician, right? Musical instruments are physics. No, Pythagoras came up with this theory on how strings can be divided, and then the pitch gets doubled, and you get all these different intervals. So that's how stringed instruments work now. No, you literally divide the strings into specific sections to get the different notes. So all these things are math, and all the instruments work the same way. And now in modern times, microphones, speakers, electric guitars use electromagnetic induction. So that's science, no? Somebody had to come up with how this electromagnetic induction works, and then somebody applied it into a musical instrument. So as Angel said, science is everywhere. Everything we do can be studied by science.
At what point, guys, was your first approach to science, but in the way that it caught your attention? Like, I'm not talking about being in elementary school and opening up our biology or ciencias naturales books. I'm talking about when was the moment when you actually said, oh my God, this is quite interesting. And what was the reason behind it? Angel.
I remember as if it had been yesterday. There was a TV show.
Yeah.
I think it was Canal 11, right? In Mexico. Called Big Man's World. Yeah. Feel all yet. But I wouldn't miss that for the world. Because it was, one, fun. It was interesting. And my mom would say, it used to teach me at the same time. So I would actually then later look up the videos on YouTube and have that experience again, because to be honest, I forgot a lot of stuff. But after rewatching the show, I was like, okay, that was my childhood, and I'm so glad that I could live that. So yeah, with that show.
What about you, Eric?
Well, I celebrated when he mentioned the show. So I also used to watch it. I also used to watch it.
Of course.
But then during high school, I had a physics teacher that was just like that. He made his classes fun. He made them interesting. Other teachers would say dangerous also, but it was really fun. I liked his classes so much that then I got into the advanced physics thing that was not even part of the classes. It was something extra if you wanted to take it. So I think that show and that teacher were the ones who really got me hooked on science.
And we have been fans ever since. The $1,000,000 question right now. Us being sci-fi fans, we have tons of references of the arrogancy of man trying to play God. Jurassic Park, Terminator, Blade Runner. My question for you guys, at what point do you think science becomes dangerous? Angel.
I I really believe science is not dangerous.
Okay.
The applications humans give to science, that's what can be kind of problematic at times. Take, for example, and it's really famous right now, right? Oppenheimer, the movie.
Yes.
And yeah, well, science was involved because we already said it's a good word, but we used it to attack, not to harm. So we were dangerous and we used science in order to harm. So I don't think science is dangerous because I consider science to be maybe a synonym for nature.
Okay.
So nature, by its own nature, is not good nor bad. But unluckily, we have shaped it that way. So, I mean, my point is, long story short, science will be as dangerous as we want it to be.
You actually read my mind because when I formulated the question, I was thinking just, in the Oppenheimer movie. And just like you said, the greatest minds at that time were collaborating in making what it came to be a weapon of mass destruction that basically shaped the world as we know it today. That gives you a lot to think about. And what's going on in your mind, Erich?
Well, just like Angel said, he's right. Science is the study of nature. Well, the study of reality. So, to give another example as to what he said, gunpowder was invented in China, and it was used for fireworks. It was never meant to hurt others until the Europeans discovered it, and then they created guns. So science by itself is just a study. Then what you apply that knowledge for, that's what can be dangerous. And human nature in general is not very friendly, right?
Yeah, it can derail itself at some point, which reminds me of Dr. Malcolm in Jurassic Park. It becomes chaos. But guys, we finished the warm up, and as I understand, you got a lot of things to say and to bring to the table. So, this is your turn to take over. Do you know any curious facts? I know you do. About science. Erich, bang.
Curious facts. Well, there are many. No, but for example, recent discoveries have told us that the Big Bang was not the beginning. They cannot prove it because we cannot see past that point.
Yeah.
But everything indicates that time, as infinite as it is, it's infinite in both directions. So there was nothing before the Big Bang, but time itself. But it was there. It's not like the beginning of everything, you know.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into the details of that, but something made the Big Bang happen. No, but before that, there was something, but we don't know exactly what. What else can we mention?
What about the observer or the observing principle? Yeah, I was so hooked on that thing when you told me, like, I gotta get it here.
Okay, there is something called the uncertainty principle. This was discovered by Heisenberg, not the one from Breaking Bad, but an actual physicist. And he discovered that light can behave as a wave or as a particle, but it all depends on what you are trying to test for. If you want to test for particles, light will behave as particles, and if you test for waves, then it will behave as a wave. So that means that the observer alters the behavior of light. So somehow it or the universe or whatever knows that it is being observed. That sounds not intuitive at all, right? But then that has many other implications, because they can take light from a star that is thousands of or millions of light years away, and it will do the same. But then that means that this light made the decision when it came out of the star, millions of years before it was tested. So that means that the future affects the past.
Dark.
And then there's a phrase in which they say that the universe only exists because we are there, we are here observing it, and if we weren't observing it, then it wouldn't exist. But then what came first? You know, it's the egg and the chicken. So what came first, the observer or the universe?
And why?
And why? Or they just are, because they have to be. We know almost nothing about the universe we live in.
And I need to hear what Angel is sharing with us. Do you know any curious facts about science that blow your mind?
I do for a fact. When we go to, I don't know, elementary school, maybe junior high, we are told that there are three, well, some people would say four states of matter, right? We know liquid, solid, gas, right? Or if it's water, like vapor, and plasma. But what if I told you there are more than 20 states of matter? And some scientists have studied some of them, but some others are just theoretical. For example, we have, this is very technical, right? I tried to read what or how to possibly make one of these states of matter, but I understood 20% of it. Okay? So, for example, we have strange matter. Okay? It's found in the core of neutron stars. So, again, it hasn't been proven, right, just by studying scientific analysis, but it's another type of matter. We have photonic matter, right? It's, you guessed it, made of photons. So what we call, or what we know as light. There are superfluids, super solid, right? And I mean, I see why this is not taught at schools because then it's not basic stuff, right? It's very very scientific. It's almost impossible for regular minds such as ours to understand what we're talking about. But that blows my mind. Like we and if you think about it, here on Earth, the regular states of matter can easily be found, but all these new states are only in I don't know, stars, black holes, right? So we can't really take them and study them, but there are lots of theories, right? And I mean, you can find find out for yourself just by typing all states of matter, right, in a web search engine, and you will get your mind blown because they are so difficult to understand.
I mean, I got so hyped up when you mentioned the black hole because there is so much to understand, so much to study, so much to even digest about black holes. Recently, we've had the first actual image photographed of a black hole, and I was like, oh my God. I got excited and terrified at the same time. I mean, you know, the galaxies can't fit there. So, man, and what happens in there and what happens afterwards, that's still a mystery. But hey, we're just guys talking, right? And I wish we could, quoting one of my favorite villains, Hannibal Lecter, I really wish we could chat longer, but we have to wrap things up with our traditional rapid fire round. Okay. Scientific discovery that you are very grateful for. Erich.
I would guess what I said about the electric guitars, no? The electromagnetic induction. Oh yes, I love to hear a distorted.
Erich doesn't picture a world without electric guitars. I hear you, my brother. Angel, what about you?
I don't know. It's a difficult one because it's like so long ago that I can't make up my mind for just one. But I would say the fate. You know, the previous show we talked about the paranormal. So yeah, the space, black holes, wormholes, galaxies, stars, solar systems. That blows my mind. The number, you know, because it's not like we know 3 or 4 other solar systems. The number is so big you can't even picture it.
All righty. Scientific discovery or tool found in fiction that you wish was a reality. Let me give you an example. Light speed traveling, like in the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars. Warp speed traveling in Star Trek. That's mine. What's yours, Erich?
Some sort of teleporter. Yeah, no, it could be like the portal gun from Rick and Morty, or the teleporter from Star Trek, or something like that, which it could like travel instantly.
Yeah, from one place to the other. Beam me up, Erich. What about you, Angel?
I think I'm not a huge fan, right? So don't beat me for this one, but the starships, no, like you mentioned, the Millennium Falcon, right? The Death Star, that are actually like huge, not planet size big, and I think that's so cool, right? To be able to create starships to explore, because let's face it, the rocket that we have now, even if NASA and Elon Musk are like competing. uh, It's not it's not what we want or what we need in order to explore the whole universe, right? So yeah, this starships, I would say.
Alrighty. Scientific figure slash character you look up to or admire. Eric.
Oh, that's a difficult one,
I love it. I love difficult questions.
but I would go with Stephen Hawking's. You know, he his theories about black holes and how he complemented and even contradicted Einstein's theories were mind-boggling. You know, he what we know of black holes is thanks to him. No, he made all this research about those. So I would say I really admire that guy.
Angel.
This might sound a little off topic because we're talking about black holes and the universe, but
Just go.
I think Madame Curie was a huge scientist, right? Because number one, she was a woman in a men's world, right? Where there were
Totally.
there were no women working on science, and she was the one, right? And number two, she sacrificed basically literally her own life to discover some chemical elements, and she's like I like to think of her as a martyr of science, right? She literally died for science.
For her own from her own discovery, from her own work. Alrighty. And finally, one question that I think it's in everyone's head right now because of the pictures, because of the videos created by it. AI, artificial intelligence in today's world, breakthrough or potential danger, Eric?
There are three outcomes. Either it kills us, either we end up destroying it and forget about it, or we enter into this symbiosis, like in The Foundation by Asimov,
Yeah.
in which humans have this thing on their heads and they are like extensions of their own bodies by technology and things like that. So, I mean, that would be like the best outcome, no? We have the power of our brains plus the power of the AI. So,
Merge into one.
merging into one.
At what point we stop being ourselves to be the other thing? Damn. Angel, what about you?
It's getting harder to tell what artificial intelligence does from what regular humans do, right? So I think at some point, like Eric said, if we happen to be, I don't know, conquered or attacked by artificial intelligence, we won't even know. Because it's right now, 2023, you can, I mean, with the hands, no? You know that they are telling you that artificial intelligence, for example, can't draw good hands. No, they are always like crooked or something. But I mean, how long has artificial intelligence been on the table, right? How long has it been discussed? Less than 10 years? And look at how much it has evolved. So at some point, it will evolve with or without us. If it's without us, we won't know. So if it happens to kill us, it will just do, and we won't ever notice. I think. I hope it doesn't happen. or I thought that when it happens, I am long gone. But I think that could happen.
All right, guys. I honestly wish we had more time, but it's time to wrap things up now. But thank you so much for everything that you guys shared. Thank you so much to give the content that you gave to this edition of the show. Of course, I'm always happy to have you here. You're always welcome, and keep doing it. Hang in there, guys. Keep doing what you do. Keep researching what you keep researching, and well, we'll be seeing each other around.
Sure. Thank you for having us.
Have a good one.
And for all of our viewers, that's it for today. But be sure to click on the Let's Talk show on a weekly basis. Eric was with us, who was also in the controls. Angel was with us. Poncho was in charge of the editing. I am Mike, and we'll be back. Hasta la vista, babies.